由科技部所举办的科技创新成果发表会即将要开始了。为了确保活动品质，请各位与会的来宾把你的手机确认一下，调整成静音的模式哦。感谢您的配合。The Science and Technological Innovation Demo Day hosted by MOST is about to begin. To ensure the quality of the event, may all the guests turn your smartphone into the mute mode. Thank you for your cooperation. The event will begin in 1 minute.各位长官、各位嘉宾，还有各位新创团队们，大家午安，大家好，欢迎来到今天的科技创新成果发表会。我是非凡新闻台的主播，我叫朱思翰哦，很荣幸可以来担任今天的主持人，一起来参与这个盛会。Good afternoon, welcome to Science and Technological Innovation Demo Day. I'm Sihan Zhu. I'm a news anchor from the US TV, and it's my honor to be your host today. 那么首先呢，要先跟大家说的是啊，在谢谢大家在这个疫情严峻的期间，还可以一起来这边共襄盛举。不管你是在线上来参加，还是呢在现场一起来参加，其实都希望大家都可以平安健康，一起来度过疫情的难关呢。So first of all, I have to thank everyone during the pandemic, no matter where you are online or at a sense. I wish you have like a healthy and safe during the pandemic. Together we can get through it, of course. 那么今天我们呢会有一场简报，一场精彩的座谈，还有呢一场是由9个团队一起做的一个简报时间呢。Today we have one exclusive fireside chat, and after that we will have 9 startup teams to join the pitch session. 那么在活动正式开始之前呢，先让我们来介绍一下今天与会的特别来宾们哦。那么首先要来介绍的是我们的科技部主任秘书林广宏主任秘书。James Lin, Chef Secretary, Minister of Science and Technology. 接下来介绍的是我们科技部产学及园区业务司的副司长涂君怡副司长。Jin Yi-tu, Deputy Director General, Department of Academia, Industry Collaboration and Science Park Affairs, Ministry of Science and Technology. 而接着要介绍这一位，我想大家都认识，但是很可惜今天没有办法来到现场，是用线上的方式来跟我们一起共襄盛举哦。让我们欢迎橡子园顾问董事长陈武福董事长 ，Chairman of Acorn Campus Taiwan 吴福成。
OK， 好，大家好。
接着我们要介绍的是 Taboola 的副总裁于宁宁副总裁 ，Ning Yu Vice President of Taboola。接着要来介绍的是达盈管理顾问公司的创办人方颂仁创办人 Simon Fang，the founder of Darwin Venture Management。接着呢是我们今天这个 Computex 的主办单位哦，台北市电脑工会的总干事杜全昌总干事 ，Dr. Inak Du Secretary General of Taipei Computer Association。 那么呢，接着就要来请我们的科技部林广宏主任秘书来上台为我们带来欢迎致辞。Now let's welcome the Chief Secretary, Minister of Science and Technology, Mr. Lin Guanghong, to give us the opening remark.
我们线上的陈董事长，还有我们现场的于副总裁，方创办人，我们的杜总干事，还有我们的涂副座，还有我们的新创的团队，还有我们现场所有媒体的朋友，大家好。那首先我仅代表科技部来欢迎大家来莅临今天的科研创新成果的发表会那真的很高兴在这边看到有这么多人一起来莅临今天的活动。大家一起来共同关心台湾的前瞻科技，还有产业创新的一个发展。那科技部从103年由以往的国科会转型成立以来，那我们一个最主要的一个任务工作就是要强化我们科学研究跟产业发展一个结合那透过这样的一个结合呢，来促成这个新创事业还有产业创新的发展那刚刚杜总干事也跟我提到科技部在近期内也将要转型成为国家科学与技术发展委员会那这一次的组织调整呢，其实有2个很重要的目的了一个当然就是说，我们希望透过这一次的改组，可以将整个国家科技发展的一个整体的规划拉到行政这样一个层级那当然，另外一个很重要的目的就是说呢，我们希望透过跨部会的合作，将科研的发展从上中下游做一个更紧密的结合了。我们包括全面的上游的学术研究到技术发展，一直到产业应用那透过这样更紧密的合作呢，来达到让科研的创新发展有更大的成果那未来呢，我们不管是现在的科技部，或是以后转型的国家科学技术委员会，我们都会在科技部长期以来科研这样的一个成果呢，来持续的去扮演国家新创这样一个引擎了那特别是我们会跟新创一些相关的部会，包括国发会也好，经济部也好，经管会也好，我们会一起努力来建构一个完整完善的科研、创新跟创业的一个生态圈那为了推动科研的创新跟创业，其实科技部在过去这几年来推动一些像是相当重要的措施我想有些可能大家都很熟悉了我们包括推动的科研的创业的计划科研产业化的平台，我们也建制了在台北也好，台南也好，建制了台湾 Tech Arena， 就是 TTA 南北的据点那我们希望透过这些的措施呢，为台湾的学员人才来搭建一个更友善的科研的应用跟发展的环境也让这些拥有前瞻技术的学员团队那可以有个验证技术跟商业模式的平台让这些研发成果可以进一步落实市场上的商品或服务那当然我们也透过 TTA 南北据点的设立，我们提供一些新创的团队一些必要的资源跟协助，来协助我们的这些优秀的新创团队可以前进到国际的舞台。那透过前面跟大家报告，科技部在过去这几年来推动的一些措施，那我们在整个科研的创新跟创业这方面，其实也有蛮不错的成果了所以我们今天特别安排在那个 InnoVEX 的会场来举办我们科研创新成果的发表会那参与的38个团队那不管是在数位转型也好，精准健康、人工智慧、绿能或是运动科技方面，都有非常耀眼的成果了所以我们希望透过今天 InnoVEX 这样的一个场合呢，为新创团队不管是媒合国际的资金也好，那个生产的伙伴也好，市场的通路也好，或是媒体资源也好，希望透过这些各个面向的协助呢，来协助我们的新创团队可以站上国际在国际上可以发光发热。那最后我还是要特别感谢今天参与这个活动的我们的企业还有创投的代表那以及还有我们媒体朋友的支持，希望今天的活动让大家都有一些满满的收获。那也期勉我们所有科研新创的团队能够秉持初衷，那持续不断的来研发更多 创新的技术跟应用。希望我们共同努力，为台湾打造更美好的未来。谢谢大家，谢谢。
谢谢主秘，主秘请留步，我们现在是要拍照时间哦。Now let's move to the photo session。那我们现在先请我们的嘉宾们上台，一起来跟我们的主秘合照啊。首先，我们请到台北市电脑工会总干事杜全昌总干事，以及查布拉的副总裁于宁宁副总裁。接着请到达银管理顾问公司创办人方颂仁创办人，以及科技部产学及园区业务司的副司长涂君怡副司长。好的，谢谢各位嘉宾。Okay, so now is the highlight of today's event. Today we have three well-known representatives in the industry, especially in the startup industry, and we are going to have the fireside chat with these honorable guests. So the first guest, let me introduce him. I think everyone knows him, as I said before. He was called 矽谷创业之神 It's called like the god of entrepreneur in the Silicon Valley. And he also like famous because he create dozens of companies. Some of them acquired by a huge tycoon, and some of them has like successfully IPO. So the first guest is Wu Chen, the chairman of Acorn Campus Taiwan. And today he will join us online. So, hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, cannot be there
Okay.
in person. This is a real fireside. I have a fire by my side now.
Okay, and then let me introduce our second guest, Ning Yu, the vice president of Sabula. Sabula is the global leading discovery platform using AI and deep learning to offer more than 1 trillion personalized recommendations monthly to over 500 million active users. And she's also participated in several successful California startups in different industries. Let's welcome. And then I'm going to introduce our third guest, Simon Fang. He's a founder of Darwin Venture Management, and he used to work in like Texas Instruments and also UMC. So of course, he is expert in semiconductor and also consumer electronic area. Yeah, and his company also managed 6 venture funds and invested more than 50 startup companies. Okay, so I will be the host today and hope everyone can join like today's fireside chat. So our topic today is University Startup Go Global, and especially to go like commercialize and emerge to the international market. To be honest, I think in Taiwan startups have a really good at like R&D, but sometimes when I go to global or go to international to face the consumer, they become a little bit shy. But like this year in January, I went to Las Vegas in CES, and I saw a lot of startup team, and they are really good at no matter the product or like promote themselves. But then I go to Silicon Valley, and I found during the pandemic time, it's a really hard time for them. Why? Because you can see the ventures are gone, the partners are not there, and some of them, they are thinking they should stay in Silicon Valley or maybe they should move back to Taiwan. So they have some challenge and like a difficulty. So the first question I want to ask Wu Fu. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, so just like I say, this year may be a little bit tough time for them, but in this situation, do you see any like a challenge or opportunity for them?
Well, yeah. Well, the startup, there's always opportunity and there's always challenge. So I think there's no difference today versus in the past. But right now, especially recently, as you know, that the market coming down, but as a startup, what has to be careful. It's a better opportunity, but you have to be careful because you have to last a little bit longer. But as a startup, since you don't go out to sell product in the market, so giving you some time is fine. So I think right now, I would say it's probably a best time to start up now because valuation is reasonable. Maybe the talents will become more available. And in the past 6 months or so, it's almost impossible to get a good talent for startup. So I think the worst time is the best time for startup. Okay.
Okay, and I remember like in this January, I visited you in Silicon Valley, and you say the startup should like stay in the Silicon Valley as long as they can. And now, do you still think about that?
Well, to me, it's a global operation. Everything's global now and through the internet. But of course, locally, there's still some difference. I guess still seeing this advantage of Silicon Valley or US in general is that Silicon Valley is a place, the culture is for startup. And so it has the infrastructure, the support to support startup much better. A couple of examples, because ways is that, for example, in startups, they go startup, you could get accounting service, legal service, you could find offices much easier in Silicon Valley. I know in the past few years, where Taiwan sending a few teams to Silicon Valley to learn about the culture, and upon their return, the one I hear the most is that they told me that in Silicon Valley everything is possible. In Taiwan, looks like everything is impossible because people are so protective about and not helping each other. But in Silicon Valley, people actually are willing to open up and help each other. They don't try to hide a lot of secret because the success is based on the unique differentiation, not hiding a little secret. So that's why I'm saying, well, of course, you have a choice. Silicon Valley is a better way to start up a company. But in Taiwan, of course, you could still do it, but you just work harder and try to link up to Silicon Valley or other international place as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And now move back to the stage. Nining, I want to ask you about like a pandemic. I think it's almost over, maybe. Yeah. So maybe now is the time for a startup to like prepare themselves and maybe like face into the venture or like the customer. So do you think in this situation, is there any like difficulty or challenge for them? And where is the opportunity?
Well, as I said, the industry or the technology change really fast. Opportunities are always there. In my situation, I did my own startup a long time ago. It's 30, 40 years ago. When I see the situation, current situation now, I see right now it's opportunity are all over the place. In the past, there are not as many opportunities. But on the other hand, there are not as many startups. So the competition were limited. So it's probably easier to succeed, but there are not a lot of opportunity. Right now, opportunities are all over the place, but on the other hand, competition are also all over the place. Because a lot of startups today, the barrier are not as high. So a lot of company come and present it to investor. You say, well, they are the best one in the company, and they have good technology and they have good potential. But one thing, if you ask them, well, do you know your competition? It's hard for them to. They don't know. But if you don't know your competition, how can you say you are the best one? And that's the part that a new startup this day, you have to pay not just your product and the technology. You have to worry about and make sure you understand the market, the competition, and position your company in the best way. And with that, you still have opportunity. But as far as the overall environment, the fundraising will get a little bit tougher going forward. It happened in the past few months. As you can see, the overall stock market or in the cyber currency, they adjusted really down. But from my perspective as a startup person, right now the PE is reasonable. It's not crashed. We could say it was overhyped before, but right now it's in the reasonable range. So for startup now, it could go up to raise the money and get the right talent at right raise at right price and raise raise those. But moving the start forward one step at a time. But make sure, since the raise money is harder now, you have to be careful in budgeting and planning.
Okay, thank you, Fu. So now it's a time for Ning. The same question. How do you think?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with what Fu say. The Sequoia venture just push out 50 pages deck. Talk about right now is a crucible moment, which means a difficult fundraising moment. But I have to say, you have opportunity. Why? If you look at a specific area, especially for hard science and hard technology, they are funding, such as cybersecurity. So there's money on there, and you have opportunities. And also, I specifically want to talk about academic into a startup company. I came from Idea Lab. Idea Lab is next to Caltech. So Idea Lab only work on the hard science, white space problems. They moved their Caltech PhD, their hardest problem, and going to build startup. Idea Lab had the highest successful rate. So what I try to say is hard science, you have a unique technology. You have a true differentiation. You will find the real value. You just need to figure out how to proceed. There are funding, there are advisors, there are support systems. But if there's a crisis, there's opportunity. And I think this is the time to actually open your eyes and figure out where they are.
Yeah, it's really about the times. And Simon, from the ventures point of view, what do you think, where is the opportunity? Which area, like which section have the opportunity for them?
I think all different VC have their specializations. But speaking of academic research, I think Taiwan is, in general, is pretty weak to have a university research team to cooperate with the industry, especially venture capital. And there are many reasons for that, because in the past, we treat the university professors are government officers. So there are many restrictions for them to go out to start their own company. So from the legal perspective, you need to loosen, the restriction to the professors. Otherwise, the venture capital will not be able to invest all the university teams. And we start seeing a lot of change right now. So speaking of Darwin, we're probably the very few VC investing in academic research. I think we invested like 7 or 8 FIT, the coming from the Keji Bu. So I think this is a very good timing. And 90% of our PhD resource in Taiwan are locking in the university. So if you don't encourage the researchers in the university, academia area to go out to start their own company, I think we start seeing the venture activities are drying out, because you don't have a deep tech to back up all this technology. So that's what we see. And we're working very closely with a government agency to promote this kind of opportunity to help researchers to go out to raise funds, start their own companies. Thank you.
Okay, so just like what I say, I think Taiwan startups have a really, really talented R&D power, but when they go out of lab, go out of university, sometimes they become a little bit shy, or maybe they don't know how to promote themselves. Yeah, maybe because they are student, they are professor. But when you are facing to the ventures or like angel fund, you have to give them everything you have, right? So I think from Ufu, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so out of the lab, how can they access to the opportunity from the business market? How should they do and enhance or reach the external resource?
Yeah, well, I think this is really a big question. In fact, I have been looking into this area for a while now, and to talk about this area, I probably could look at it from 7 angles, like Northern Star. The first one is that in school or academic area, they are seeing things as project, not a product. They are building project, and that has to change. In school, you build project, and also they spend money based on the budget. but a startup can change the concept budget to financial. And I don't have time to explain more, but that's a concept. It's a project has to move to product. Budget has to move to financial. Publish has to move to profit. In academic, they say publish or perish. So they focus in publish. That's not, has to shift to profit. And then also has to know how, shifting to what. And how to do it, they were to more focus also what to do. And the other one is what we call the omelette versus bacon. Omelette is the commitment, where omelette is that a chicken laid an egg to make omelette. That's not a commitment. A pig has to die to get bacon. It requires a much bigger commitment into the company. And the other one is the scholar versus businessman. It's not as much theories, but it has to more practical and businessman. The last one I would say is a concept is called Nobel Prize versus NASDAQ. That's probably the way to focus out. It's not just theory as to practice. And so for academic, I think they have to learn. They are smart. They have good technology, but they have to convert the technology into a product, a sellable product. And that requires the help from business side. And I know all the academic area, the professors are the best, the smartest people, and sometimes they may have difficult time thinking about anything they don't know, or they need other people. And so they have to open up that and open up to bring in business talent and taking the good technology into a good product to the market. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Fu. And now, Nini, I want to ask you, because I know Taboola do the thing is like put the right thing to the right people, right? So do you have any suggestion for them how to like put the right startup to the right angel fund or like a venture? What should they do? Yeah.
I saw a lot of the presentation or business plan from the academic startup. And I think they really focus on how great the technology is, but forgot to tell a story. Okay? So I actually looking for all the 9 different startups to tell your stories. What problem you try to solve? Okay, how big that is it? What type of value you provide to the customers? And why me? Why this technology can do it? And why my team can make that happen? So storytelling is a big transition from an academic project into a product and storytelling. So talk about second thing, who just talked about it. You need a team, okay? If the whole management team, they all are wonderful professors, but you also need to have the people articulate to the VC, what's your business? How are you going to run the business? How are you going to survive? How to make a profit, especially at this point. Growth is not the only indicator. You also have to figure out how you can survive, how you can, the VC gave you the money, how you can have a longer run rate. So I think that's really the big one. Storytelling, have a good balanced team, and also have a good business strategy. I think that would be a good starting point.
Yeah, I think storytelling is a really, really important part. Yeah. So Simon, also from like a venture point of view, because today I think later on there will be like 9 teams to present themselves to do the pitch. So do you have any suggestion for them how to like assess to the venture?
Starting a company is never easy. The statistic in Silicon Valley is about only 1% of a business plan able to receive funding from VC. So just the magic number is 1%, less than 1% in Silicon Valley. I think Taiwan in general, for example, our fund, annually we look into about 500 to 600 BP business plans. We invest about less than 10. So that 1% thumb of rule is about right. So don't be distressed if you don't get money or attention from VC, because starting company is very difficult. Getting funding is also difficult. So don't get too distressed. Just keep on trying to modify your business plan.
Okay, thank you. And we only have limited time, so we have to move to the last session. Is that we know starting a business is quite a windy road, a tough way to do that. So, Ufu, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so the last question, do you have any suggest or advice for the startup team, especially they just go through a difficult time for the pandemic and now it's a new opportunity, new start. Do you have any advice for them?
Well, yes. Startup is never easy. Yeah, I said, as Simon also mentioned, that the success rate is not that high. But still, you could going through one after the other one, learning more experiences, and so that's currently, as I mentioned, right now it's more a downtime now. It has been kind of fast growing and exploring for about quite a few years already. So right now, really, you have to just calm down and probably rethink. You have to think about in the next couple of years, or the situation may not be that. The market may not be that good, so you really have to be careful of your budget and looking for a more sustainable model and maybe grow not as fast as you expected. But still, the opportunity is here, and the technology changing so fast. And you're seeing the AI technology, and right now, clearly the metaverse is the area which, even though it's not quite my generation, I do believe that's going to happen. The virtual part will become bigger and bigger as reality becomes smaller. But under this metaverse, I mentioned that the whole world is moving from not just from it's moving from technology to more the kind of the sense to sensitivity. I even have those more subjective value will grow faster to some extent than the objective value. So I do think that the startup, it's hard to raise money, but you have to first decide and what you want to do, and can you do well and focus in only area. I see a lot of Taiwan startups, they tend to do too wide. But in the startup, typically you want to go deep instead of broad. Because you do broad, it cannot be good at everything. But go deep, and it's easier using your specialty to create real value. But in Taiwan, and I try to learn why they go broad. One of the reasons is that they don't have enough confidence that they can go after deep. The risk is higher. But if you don't have that risk, you don't have that confidence, then it's hard to succeed. So I hope the startup has to still figure out what they can do the best. And they can just focus in a small area and target and try to be the best in that small defined sector, instead of trying to be broad. I know the part of the reason is not just the entrepreneur, it's the environment. I learned a lot of Taiwan investors tend to be more near term. They are expecting the startup has to make profit in 2 or 3 years and quickly making a return. With that, it's hard for a startup company to have a plan to say, well, it may not be profitable for next 3 years, and it requires a lot of investment to grow a huge company. So I think there's an issue about the entire ecosystem. It's just in a startup, but startup person has to recognize the ecosystem and move within the constraint of the ecosystem. But meanwhile, I hope the entire industry or the VC community and all others will realize that to create what people call a unicorn, you need to put enough food into it before they can grow into a unicorn. You cannot just expect that in 2 years become unicorn, put in only a little bit of money. Okay.
Thank you. And Ning, do you have any suggestion for them on the way to the unicorn?
Well, being unicorns very hard. I've been there, and it's a journey. Okay, so if you want to be a unicorn, it will be a journey. What it takes. I think number one is no fear. What does it mean? We talked to a lot of the startup team from academic. They are so worried about their IP will be stolen. They don't want to share it. They don't want to talk to people. And exactly what Wu say is really believe in yourself, having confidence in yourself, okay? And share and continue move forward your technology, okay? Because if you don't talk to the people, you really don't know what problem you can solve. And you really not know where you should be better. So I think number one, don't be afraid and focus on What's your differentiation? Number 2, make a lot of friends, okay? And there's no startup can start with a single founders. Always a group, a balanced team, and also get to know as many people as possible. Finally, you're gonna hit the jackpot. In our companies, our CEO tried to go to Silicon Valley looking for funding. He tried 34 times, all failed. But he never gave up. And finally, he got the funding. I have done so many fundraising, I can tell you, 90% the chance failed. But if you keep trying, keep improving, you will be there. So my last advice is be ready. Okay, wherever you always understand your business, quickly pivot, and when there's opportunity, you're ready for it. That's it.
Well, that is really inspiring. Okay, and Simon, so can you help us to make a conclusion?
I think startups sometimes get into the myth, try to chase the beautiful buzzwords. Today is AI. Everybody's talking about AI. 5 years ago, everybody is IoT. But as a VC, we're meeting people every day. So we'll not be trapped by all these beautiful buzzwords. So we only focus on the key core technology and the quality of the management team. So I would suggest startups, just pretty much time to time need to review what is my core competence instead of chasing the hot topics. Now probably tomorrow everybody talking about the meta, right? So that's to us is totally useless. So better focus on your real core strengths. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's our today's fireside chat. So can I invite everyone to give a huge applause for our guest? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move to the next part, and then is our pitch session. So let me introduce the rule. Every team have 5 minutes to do the pitch, and it's all in English, no QA times, and after 9 teams finish the pitch, immediately they will scoring, and the judges will give you their opinion and tell who is the top 3 winner, okay? Okay, so let's welcome our first team, Aiplux Technology 瑞嘉科技股份有限公司。
Good day, everyone. I'm Olaf from Aiplux. Aiplux is a legal tech startup that using artificial intelligence and natural language processing to make intellectual property accessible to everyone. Next page, please. As you can see, if you have ever tried to apply for a trademark or patent abroad, you will find yourself in front of a very expensive and time-consuming wall. That's set up by language differences and local regulations. Next page, please. So, and furthermore, according to the WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, there are the domestic trademark application over the past decade had grown 10 times more than foreign application. And this insufficient cross-border trademark protection cost more than $50 billion economic loss annually, and 90% happens in Asia. Next page, please. And to address this issue, Aiplux launched LOFA, Logo Online Filing Assistant in 2021. And its main features are natural language item recommendation, trademark search engine, and risk assessment, and of course, the easy management. Next page, please. And with LOFA, anyone can apply for trademark, domestic and foreign trademarks within 5 minutes, and save up to 90% of the service fee, and of course, save weeks of time on communication. Next page, please. And currently, there are 3 sources constitute to our ecosystem. First, direct user, such as small and medium enterprises, startups, entrepreneurs. And second, licensing partners. We're licensing our systems to legal firms and accounting firm for them to join our white label program to accelerate their workflow. And third, our API partners. We open our API to collaborate with partners, mostly business-to-business SaaS platform and patent search tool. Next page, please. And let's take a look at our API partners. Currently, we have 2 API partners in European Union and ASEAN. They are both #1 patent search tool in their region. And let's circle to our licensing partners. We have 25 firms in Japan and 12 firms in USA as our licensing partner. And finally, let's take a look back at Taiwan. From 2021, we launched LOFA to now. We had take 5% of the market and stands on the top 5 of the industry. But just outside the topic, we have 5% and we are on top 5. So you can see the top 1 and top 2 took a large portion. Okay, next page, please. And within this year, we have more than 1,500 brands from 14 different countries had applied through LOFA. And thanks to our recommendation tool and evaluation tool, we have a 95% of approval rate. Next page, please. And of course, we are not the only one who is doing online IP platform, but we are the only one who is dedicated in cross-border filing and automation. And we are proud to say Aiplux will widen the border of intellectual property globalization. Next page, please. And this is my presentation. Thank you for your time. I'm Ola from Aiplux. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aiplux. And the next one is Charco Science, 洽口科研.
Hi everyone. First of all, I want to thank the most that to give us the chance to share something that is not fancy high technology, but something more old-fashioned. Okay, we are Charco Science. I'm the founder, Nate. We are expert of quality agriculture. Next, please. Global waste of fruit and vegetable is about 47 billion. It stands for 1.3 billion tons scraps. Next, please. So we know that the extreme climate is the root cause, and it will be routine and endanger this industry. And for last, and next, please. So how about the global agriculture? Coffee industry is one critical produce that we are focusing, and it's also our target. Bean belts, including our diplomatic friends, the Guatemala and Honduras, they were suffering from the so-called cancer leaf rust, and no any traditional pesticide chemicals can work, but not in Taiwan. Next, please. Here, Charco invented the natural coating. We recycled the peel seeds of fruits and extract plant essential oil and combine with the nanocarbon powder and make this natural formula. And this product can effectively inhibit the critical enzyme activity in the fruits. And next, please. And next 3, please. And also block oxygen diffusion and prevent dehydration. And it competes with the spore to prevent adhesion and growth on the fruit surface. Next, please. And next. Thank you. So in brief summary, our formula is purely organic and requires only simple operation. Next, please. So after lab experiment, we went to field tests from customer side. So we cooperated with Taichung coffee champion farmer, and we proved that we can enhance 30% yield. So regarding this 30% yield enhancement, we can bring farmer 0.5 and even up to 2.5 million revenue increase. Next, please. So comparing to traditional pesticides, chemicals, biologics, our formula is more multifunctional, safe, and eco-friendly. And also, we have a competitive price. And also, we are also worldwide first solution to physiological disease. Next, please. So, based on that amazing performance, we make a strategy to this overseas coffee industry. So we separated into 3 phases. For phase 1, we will take Taiwan's formula, go to like Guatemala to have a field test to verify it. to reproduce the performance. And then go to phase 2. Phase 2 is we will locally recycle the byproduct of agriculture, like coffee berry, coffee ground. We make ingredient of our formula locally. And for phase 3, once it's verified, we can build a production line layer, meaning we recycle those byproducts, make the ingredients, and also fabricate the formula locally to use. So it will become a self-cycle. Next, please. So based on that idea, that we will achieve 2.5 million revenue by end of this year, and after some field tests and product promotion, and by 2025, we will achieve 60 million by engage more farmers and have more contract. Next, please. Charco was started from 2018, and during the past few years, we focused on R&D, field test, and also product promotion of this formula. And we have 4 members. 2 of us are engineering background, so we focused on the product development, and the other 2 are expert of agriculture. Next, please. And our next step is to solve the pain points of produce selling, including dehydration, over-ripening, fungal disease. All these are headache to the produce supply chain. Next, please. But by fine-tuning our formula, we can achieve 2 to 3 times shelf life extension. So this is amazing. Next, please. Our ultimate goal is combining pre- and post-harvest application and help our customer to develop quality agriculture and lead them to high-profit markets like tourist, ultra, overseas markets. And the most important thing is we are aligned with the sustainable agriculture, reduce the chemicals, and make everything better. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nate. And the next one is FiduciaEdge Technologies, 边信联科技.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for your coming. I'm Owen Goh, the BD manager for Fiducia. Next, please. So in FiduciaEdge, we are focused on edge computing, cybersecurity, and also the data privacy. We provide one main product and also the one service to help the customer, help our users to achieve the edge intelligence cybersecurity. Next, please. We are always talking about how we achieve the smart cities. Actually, it's pretty good in these years, but have you ever guys wondered how the smart city works? Next, please. Smart city actually combines a lot of different kind of solutions and also the technology, including the cameras and all kind of sensors, also 5G-based edge computing, to make the city much more automatically combined together and make it smoothly operation. So in this kind of the ecosystem, we have 2 kind of the critical mission. One is we call the zero latency network, and another one, of course, is the real-time edge AI. Next, please. But along with the ecosystem developing, we are facing to a serious problem in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity attacks actually grows 1 time in a year, which is really serious. Next, please. And it doesn't only cause catastrophic consequences to the business, but also it damages a lot for the safety of the society. Next, please. In order to, so therefore, why Fiducia, we provide 2 kind of solutions, which the first one is we call the FiduciaEdge Computing Platform, FECP, which allows us to protect the data privacy right at the source to compliance the GDPR compliance in the EU. And the second one is we call the Trust Anchor, which is a service we will introduce later. Next, please. Also, next, please. FiduciaEdge Computing, we have the 4 advantages compared to our competitor. We can achieve the kernel level information isolation, which we are not only achieve the inside-out data protection, but also the inside-in privacy protection. Next, please. As for the service for the Trust Anchor, we provide a one-step service, which from the hardware design, also into the software manufacturing, deployment, and also the operations. Basically, this including the hardware and software verification, certification, co-signing, and maintenance, and also the operations. The whole one-step service, including the national DECRA, which is the kind of biggest third-party verification company in Europe. Also the TWCA, which is only 2 professional CA company in Taiwan. So which means after our customer come to us and go through the process, they don't need to go through again another process when they are going to global. Next, please. This is the demonstration we help our customer, which actually is standard in the smart lamppost in front of the Taiwan city government. We help them to do the inside-out hack protection. Next, please. And this one is how we provide the privacy protection for the Edge AI, which we actually sells a lot in the Euro company. Next, please. FiduciaEdge we can now run on the mainstream hardware platforms such as NVIDIA and also the Intel base. Next, please. And we have also provided SDK for helping the developers to attach our platform. Next, please. If you guys have ever go to the Taipei City Hall, please take some time and go see our newest products. It's actually the backbone infrastructure for the smart cities. This we call the smart 5G poles, and we help the smart poles to do all the cybersecurity solution inside. Next, please. Next, please. And as for the core team for FiduciaEdge, we actually combine the expert who has a lot of the experience from the academic and also the industries. Next, please. And we are lucky to have Peter Xie, who is the general manager of ARM, as our independent member, board member. We actually are now really collaborating close to ARM, and we are hoping to develop our solutions on the ARM base, which we would call V9, in very soon. Next, please. Fiducia is actually in a unique place. We are not only the member of the, we are not only take part in the industry, but we are actually leading some of the standards, not only locally, but also the global. Next, please. We have already achieved a lot of the business partner, and we wish your join to help us make the society much more safer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the next one is Flexwave, 非力微光能.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Daniel. I'm Daniel, the founder of Flexwave. Next, please. As we are talking about the smart future, and we have heard a lot of story about how to use IoT to collect data for AI learning. And next, please. However, those things all need power. Electricity is the most important thing for this ecosystem, especially for the distributed IoT nodes. Next, please. 1 trillion IoT device will happen in the next decade. And if we use the battery life can stand for 1 year, and 275 million devices will die every day, and it will be a disaster for the AI world. Next, please. So energy harvester is one of the promising technology, and solar power is the most efficient one, and we are working on it. Next, please. Flexwave was founded in 2014, and we own a patent now. We use an innovative optical way to make the solar cell can gain more power. Next, please. So in the past years, and we have won some honors, such as the Appleton Award, and we was labeled as one of 1,000 efficiency solution by Solar Impulse Foundation. Next, please. So we are in the module side. We can adopt all kinds of solar cells and to define the product and extend to the application. Next, please. So here is our talent. Different with the traditional solar panel, we can collect the light from wider angles, which means our solar panel can have a concentrator behavior. And also, according to our material properties, we can make the modules can be shapeable and flexible, even colorful. Next, please. So how we change it again? Our solar panel can produce 25% more power, and our optimized solar charger is 30% more power compared to the traditional one. So we can provide 75% more power to the tradition, which means our device can be small as small as possible. Next, please. So we do B2B model. The first one is we help our customer to design in to provide their design solution to create their own product. And we also make our regular product for our customer to test. Next. So here's our use case. We help microprogram to design in the energy harvester on the second generation of U-bike. So you can see the second generation of U-bike owns a computer on the bike. So the computer was supported by our energy harvester, and we also help to reduce the battery capacity to minimize the size. Next, please. And here's another use case. Our customer use our regular product to put outdoor, and you can see in last year during a typhoon day, our Axle box still charging the battery and keep the system working. Next, please. So here's our customer. Our system can available for 4G base and NB-LT, even the LPWANs. Next, please. So here's our user map. We got global customers all over the world, and the most successful use case is the U-bike. Next, please. So today we are looking for more partners who want to use the green energy to make a smart future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next one goes to Goedge.ai, 优智能.
Hi, I'm Ping Wu, CTO of Goedge.ai. Our vision is to provide an AI expert system accessible for any manufacturers. Next, please. In many industries, manufacturers rely on experts to produce quality goods. Accumulating knowledge and experience of the experts is essential for success. Conventional expert systems attempt to fulfill such a need, but do not always work. Next, please. It is common that the experience and the most important experience and knowledge are too difficult to organize in a conventional way. And on the other hand, companies like SMEs are difficult, have limited resources, and cannot build and maintain such a system. Next, please. So here is an example in the semiconductor industry. When designing a new product, the IC designer asks Fab to model semiconductor devices he produces. This work weighs heavily on model engineers. They try and error abundant of a combination of parameters according to their experience. Despite assisted by software tools, there are still two main issues. First, it takes a lot of time. In a common example, a device model requires 3-month effort of a senior engineer. And second, experience is difficult to accumulate and share among engineers, which makes it difficult for them to cooperate and train. Okay, next, please. So our solution is threefold: AI, user, and system. In the AI part, we employ an AI engine to handle the modeling work as solving the black box problem. And in the user part, we use a calibration module to record what expert did during the process, and based on that information, tune the AI model for the better results. And in the system part, all the software components are integrated in a scalable platform for enhanced throughput and simple deployment. So here is our result. Currently, we reduced the modeling cycle time by 30 to 40%. And in the next phase, such a reduction will reach 50%. And moreover, engineers will be occupied only 20% of the time, as the rest of the modern work is handled by the AI engine. Okay, next please. So currently, Goedge.ai focuses on two types of services. Charco AI optimizes product design, and Factory AI analyzes and enhances production process. User need to only pay attention to services he needs, and we will deliver an out-of-the-box solution. If hardware solution is also needed, we provide hard plug-in appliances for high performance with a reasonable cost. Next, please. So here is our business model and the expected revenue. And we work directly with semiconductor companies in Taiwan. And we also, at the same time, we also cooperate with a system integrator and machine and equipment builder to reach SMEs. We are now seeking more partners for entering global markets. Next, please. So we gather a strong team while venturing forth. Our leadership consists of PhDs, experienced in areas important to our goal. And most of our team members are very strong in computer sciences. They help to realize our product. Okay, next please. So we are looking for more partners. Please follow us, and thanks for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next one, Alliance of LPWAN Technology and IoT Application from National Tsinghua University.
Good day. Hello, everyone. We are LPWAN Technology, Alliance of Technology and IoT Applications. I'm the project manager from Smart Agriculture Office. My name is Yuxiang Huang. I'm today's pitch presenter. And this is our product named Image and Data Analyzing AI Models Service Platform. And what is this? Let's go to next slides, please. Okay, so we hope to build an AI platform, especially for the agriculture area in this field. We apply AI in this field. That since we are an alliance, we have all kind of manufacturer, supplier, and we have like a research team, like a lot of school. Like for example, we are Tsinghua NTHU, and there will be other schools. And we have a lot of application area, those industry. So we build a ecosystem, and research team build a platform to allow the supplier to upload their model and allow all kind of IoT input data stream, and then we apply into agriculture reality like field in need. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, right now let's go through some application that we have been applied already. First, this is the industry, the Taiwanese second biggest paddy rice production. It's named Zhongxingmi. We work with them, help them to build an AI system to monitor the status and the quality of their growing paddy. You can see here from the left up part is we monitor their growth, and then to know their height, their color, to tell them whether now the growing is good or not. And there's a example for telling them there's some disease on it. Okay, next. Okay, we also, there's another application in the Eustoma flower. This is the second biggest market share in the exporting flower. It has to be very precise because we are exporting to Japan. They have like really picky standards. So we use AI to control the auto lighting system to make it sure it's in our criteria. Okay, next, thank you. Okay, this is in mango farm. We also understand the pest influence and to control the auto greenhouse system to make the precise agriculture to reduce the usage of the medicine. Next, please. Okay, this is pineapple. We know the news that we see in just a few days ago that our Taiwanese pineapple selling to Japan, they're being like over mature. So we develop a solution that actually, right now, the solution is inspired by the farmer. Like right now, they cannot tell the maturity by the outside look. It is by tapping them. So we use AI to distinguish whether we use a machine to tap on the pineapple, and we are now building on a pipeline, the conveyor. So it will be told automatically, it will tap it, and you record the audio, and using AI to tell you, is it a pineapple mature enough or too much mature that it shouldn't be exported. Okay, so this is we also have some demo device. If you are interested, we already built in smartphone. You can go to our booth. We will show in demo in our booth if you are interested in this system. Okay, next. So, I think we don't have time for this demo. This is the demo for the AI apple grading. So if you are interested in, we can go to our booth. Please go to next slide. Thank you. Okay, so if you are like more curious about what's the technology like system part we focus on, right now since our scale are still not so big, so economically concerned, we are still using the big companies' service. For example, Amazon, Google Cloud, or like Microsoft, using their platform to do our computing. Next. Okay, so in the AI, especially computer vision in agriculture, we survey the international market right now. They are mostly focusing, for example, robotics, or also the same, the maturity, or a weed detection, or using UAV to detect the overall view of the crops quality. So this is the current competitor or the situation of the agriculture. Next, please. So what's our difference? We not only provide the technology solution, we provide agriculture expert. We have at least collaborate with 20 agriculture PhDs, or Taiwan's, it's our Taiwan strength, like 农科院 or something. Though we promote digital twin. So, okay, next, please. Next.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry, there's a lot to share. Thank you.
And next one, Center for Genomic Medicine from National Cheng Kung University.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yan Chang from Center for Genomic Medicine, National Cheng Kung University. It's my great honor to present you the AI-assisted embryo prediction system, IC1. Next, please. The low fertility rate has become a serious global issue where Taiwan faces the worst situation. Next, please. The in vitro fertilization technology has been developed to treat infertile couples or couples with genetic defect. Unfortunately, the journey of IVF usually takes a long time. Even with the help from the pre-implantation genetic screening, the success barely reaches to 50%. Not to mention the high cost of $30,000 to $50,000 overall. Therefore, it places enormous burden, both psychologically and financially, on the couples. Next, please. In addition, the medical societies strongly suggest single embryo transfer to lower the risk of multiple pregnancy. Next, please. So here comes the question. Can we make IVF process as a one-shot deal? Next, please. Yes, we can. Next, please. Based on the data of 900 embryos, we've developed an AI model called IC1 to precisely predict the embryo implantation rate. It integrates the genomic data of embryo from the PGT-A with the maternal physical features to evaluate the viability of the embryo. Next, please. Its accuracy is up to 92%, which is about 15% higher than any of the current competitors. Next, please. Therefore, IC1 benefits the patient by remarkably reducing 80% of treatment duration and 70% of overall cost. Therefore, as you can imagine, that's a lot of relief for the families. Next, please. Importantly, IC1 is a cloud-based software as a medical device, and no substantial equivalent products were identified in Taiwan and USA market. IC1 implementation doesn't require a central lab to generate the PGT-A data, neither it changes the lab's original procedures, which fundamentally facilitate the global marketing. Next, please. Our business model is to target the IVF center first. There are near 1,600 IVF centers with the Asia Pacific region, and not to mention the expanded market in Europe and North America. As a buyer, IVF Center only need to purchase the software license, which allows 1,000 times access per year. It's like a subscription. While our competitors can sell their product directly to the IVF Center only. Next, please. We are able to expand our business to the upstream of the IVF industry, the companies that provide genetic testing or the reagent and instrument manufacturers, to create a win-win partnership with them for even bigger market. Next, please. We are based in Taiwan and have established strong collaborations to the IVF centers already. Next, please. Through the help from our international board members and the contracted agency, we connect to several Asian countries already, such as Japan, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore. As IC1 was awarded as one of the top 7 eye-catching technology by IBM last year, it raises the visibility to the industry in Taiwan and the world. In the meantime, we will increase our brand exposure through the various channels, like attending medical healthcare expo and conferences, to go global in the near future. Next, please. We've initiated a multi-center clinical trial to optimize IC1 and measure its clinical efficacy. We will get IVD device and certification and start up a new company in 2 years. Next, please. The estimated market of the IC1 is about of the MENA of 5% market share and aims to reach $1 billion in global. IC1 as a value-added service will increase the IVF and the PGT market growth to form a positive feedback loop. Eventually, it will look back to increase IC1 market share. Next, please. We are a team with strong knowledge in R&D and marketing. Together with the international collaborations, we are setting up a cloud-based service and promoting global business. Next, please. We truly believe that IC1 is an IVF accelerator, easy for implementation, and terminate the long and painful IVF process with success in just one shot. If you are interested in IC1, please come to visit our booth or contact me with LINE or my email. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. And the next one is sounds great. 盛德思贵.
Good day, everyone. I'm Brenda Chen from SoundsGreat, and SoundsGreat is a semiconductor design house, and I'm really honored to be here to introduce our first crossover innovation, motion microchip. This chip is the world's first chip which can produce the force and motion to replace the voice coil of the speakers and also the motors. Next, please. And there are 3 features of our motion microchip. The first one is the small form factor, and the second one is the high power density. The third one is the least impedance variation. And please take a look at this comparison chart. The red part of the coin is our chip. The size of our chip is just 1.5 by 1.5 millimeter. And the picture above the coin is the voice coil from the earphone speaker. And the diameter of the voice coil is 7 millimeter. So once we use our chip to replace the voice coil, then we can reduce the size to just 1/10 compared to the voice coil, and also increase the power density by 10 times. At the same time, we also can reduce the impedance variation to just 3%. Therefore, compact but powerful is our chip's unique advantage. Next, please. And now we are focusing on 2 applications. The first one is the semiconductor dynamic speaker. We call it SDS. And from the smaller devices like the earphone speaker or the notebook speaker to the bigger devices like the TV monitors, our chips all can be applied on them due to the high power density. And the second application is the linear motors, because the theory of the linear motor is similar to the speaker. So we also can help the linear motors to reduce the size and also improve the performance. Next, please. And now I want to elaborate more about our SDS. The picture on your left-hand side is a traditional earphone. There is only one dynamic speaker can be fit into due to the size problem. But with our chips, we can put at least 3 or more speakers inside the same space to have the multiple speakers, and each speaker can respond from the high to low frequency, including the tweeter, mid-range, and also the woofers, to cover the full range of the frequency and also enrich the timbres as well. It's just like we transform the earphones into the into the professional stereo. Next, please. And in addition, we also want to talk about the array applications, because our chips also can be used on the array applications. For example, like the car stereo. We all know there are different requirements between the drivers and also the passengers. The driver needs to be aware of outside, like the ambulance sound, but the passenger just want to enjoy their private zone in the car. And it is really difficult for them to be satisfied at the same time when they are sharing the same audio system. But remember, compact but powerful is our chip's unique advantage. Therefore, our SDS can be integrated on many surfaces. For example, like a car headrest area, or the ceiling, or the door side, even the panels, to surround the personal car seat and also create the personal audio system. Next, please. And let's jump into our business model. SoundSquare is a semiconductor design house, and we are cooperating with the audio ODM and OEM company to develop the semiconductor speakers. And also, both of us will promote our significant technology to a tier 1 company. And SoundSquare will provide the motion microchips to the ODM company to let them do the mass production. Next, please. And our strategy is that we want to help the speaker professionals become the semiconductor speaker experts, because we know the semiconductor technology is an advanced technology now. And also, people are expecting their devices can be smaller, more portable, but powerful. So we believe our technology is a must-have technology. Next, please. So if you are interested in our significant technology, we are most welcome you to contact with us. Thank you for your time, and see you soon.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, Wedge Technology Taiwan, 维智科技。
Hello, my name is Yan Zuo, and I'll be the presenter today. And let me introduce you to the weather inscribing recognition machine from Wedge Technology. Next, please. With the mission of realizing intelligence, semiconductor industry, and AI technology as a core, we aim to upgrade the semiconductor industry rapidly, efficiently, and intelligently. We are the team based on National Tsinghua University, and we are from Integration and Collaboration Lab. We have 15 members and we have 4 PhD and 16 master students. We have already represent for 200 SCI papers in AI, theoretically, and application areas. Next, please. In the future, every process will be inspected, so the use of inspection and identification of wafer appearance and ID in the initial stage will increase significantly. The commercial available automatic optical inspection, the AOI, does not identify wafer ID that easily. Next, please. And here are some problems the products in the market right now. And as we can see, the problems are they have difficulties in ID identification, and they rely on the manual correction and review. These products are time-consuming and poor efficiency. On the other hand, our products solve these problems. We are efficiency and useful by using AI recognition systems, and we speed up the wafer identification process, and we improve the inspecting effectively. As you can see on the status, we have improved the recognition time from 25 seconds to 3.6 seconds, and we can recognition 25 wafers in one time. Next, please. Our core technology is with use the SSO simplified swarm optimization, which is invented by our lab, and combining the convolutional neural network, which is sort of CNN, and using deep learning to feature deep learning method to perform feature detection session. These sessions are required to overcome the correct time consuming and limited accuracy issues. Furthermore, to achieve functional modulating in application of different features to detect different scenarios. Next, please. Our team's unique technology can customize these algorithm and software development for different application scenarios. As you can see, our product tests up 25 pieces wafer per use and has a higher inspection efficiency. The recognition multiple marks have 99% accuracy. Next, please. And according to SCMI, the global semiconductor market is estimated to be over $546 billion, with the inspection equipment accounting for 13.6% of the total global semiconductor market. With the increasing consumption of consumer electronic devices worldwide and the emergence of technology such as artificial AI, IoT, and deep learning, the advanced memory memory chips in industrial application continues to grow. Therefore, it is expected that the demands of inspecting equipment demand of the inspection equipment will continue to grow. Next, please. Thank you. We have in February we have already sold 4 of our machines to Amkor, which is known as the world's second largest semiconductor packing and testing company. And we hope to extend our service to 9 other test houses on the global top 10 semiconductor packing and testing companies in the future. Next, please. Providing good equipment and service is the development path of inspecting companies. We will build an official website to provide free test windows for.
Thank you very much. So that's all our startup today. There's already 9 teams. So please, let's have a nice round of applause for them. Thank you. Okay, so thanks for them to share the future with us. And now we're going to score and decide who is the top 3. But before that, I would like to invite the judges to give the team some suggestion and opinion. The first one, maybe go online. Is Ufu online? Oh, yeah. Ufu, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you think about today's pitch?
Well, I think it's fair. I guess most are doing reasonable one, and I guess some are better presented their value. I think the global strategy is still a piece which is most lacking a little bit. Okay.
Okay. So the next one, I would like to invite Ning to go up the stage.
I'm actually quite happy to see some of the startups, okay, because I saw some of you before. And a few years ago, you guys are very new. Your presentation is horrible. And you don't have a business case, you don't have a team, you don't have international strategy. And I saw major improvements. Okay, I see some of you have a major progress, not only in the product, in the business model, also already tap into the international market. At least you're looking into the international market. You already build alliances. So I want to congratulate some of the teams really move forward. And the second thing I really want to talk about is, in general, all your solutions are universal. You're not solving Taiwan's problem. You're solving a problem are common to rest of the world. And however, I think how you build your products, how you execute, how you find the partners, and you have to really think about it. You need to simplify that. Don't make it so complicated. And also really evaluate your partner and also the other markets, and make sure you do a great market research. Otherwise, you waste a lot of money and a lot of resource. Okay, and finally, I think I always say you're based in Taiwan and look to the world. And I feel you guys are on the right track, but I think you still have a way to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it's time to reveal who is the winner of today's Science and Technological Innovation Demo Day Top 3 winner. And when I call your team's name, please, the main speaker, one person can go on the stage and then take your prize and take a picture, okay? So first, we'd like to invite Simon. Go on the stage, thank you. So the third place goes to Aiplux Technology 瑞嘉科技股份有限公司。 Okay, and now is the runner-up. The second place goes to Sounds Great, 圣德思贵. And we would like to invite Ning Ning to go on the stage. Okay, and now is the time to reveal who is the winner today. Okay, so the winner today is Center for Genomic Medicine National Cheng Kung University 国立成功大学基因体医学中心。那我们也请，So we would like to invite Wu Fuchen online with us to congratulate with us, okay? Wu, can you give me a thumb? Okay, so please stay on the stage. And now we'd like to invite runner-ups to go on the stage to take a picture with us. The second place and third place, let's go to the stage and we can take a picture together. And also we would like to invite the judges to go on the stage together. Okay, please give them a nice round of applause again, okay? And thanks all the judges and all the startup team today to join us with the event. Today's Science and Technological Innovation Demo Day has go to the end. If you want to learn more about each pitching team's product or service, you can check the booth, which is at the Science and Technological Innovation booth over there. Thank you very much.